For thousands of years, humanity has sought to understand its own origins, tracing back the roots of civilizations, cultures, and the remarkable progress that has shaped the world today. Yet despite centuries of research and countless archaeological discoveries, there remains a profound mystery, a period in human history where silence reigns, a blank chapter spanning roughly 20,000 years. During this time, known as the late Upper Paleolithic and early Mesolithic eras, there is a conspicuous absence of concrete evidence about certain ancient human activities, especially relating to early long-distance travel and seafaring. This silence has baffled scientists, historians, and explorers alike, fueling endless debates and theories. The period in question is critical because it bridges the gap between small nomadic hunter-gatherer groups and the emergence of organized societies capable of constructing vessels and undertaking voyages across open waters. Yet the archaeological record has offered very little, almost no artifacts, no written records, and no definitive proof of advanced maritime technology from that era. The lack of tangible evidence has led many experts to assume that early humans were confined to coastal and inland habitats, limited by the technology of their time. But what if this silence was not an absence, but a concealment? What if beneath the surface of the earth or hidden in the depths of the sea, relics of a forgotten chapter of human history were waiting to be uncovered? For generations, this question has stirred imaginations and inspired numerous expeditions, all hoping to unearth artifacts or remains that could break the long-standing silence. Adding to the intrigue, ancient myths and legends from various cultures around the world speak of mighty voyages, mysterious ships, and lost civilizations. These stories, often dismissed as folklore, hint at knowledge and seafaring abilities far beyond what was previously accepted for that era. Yet without physical proof, such tales have remained speculative and outside mainstream historical narratives. The silence is even more puzzling because of the geographic challenges early humans would have faced. Crossing seas or large rivers required sophisticated tools and knowledge of navigation, skills believed to have developed much later in history. This makes the discovery of any vessel from this period revolutionary, as it would force historians to rethink the timeline of technological advancement and cultural exchange. In addition, climate changes during this time created harsh conditions that may have erased many traces of early human activity. Rising sea levels submerged coastlines, potentially swallowing entire settlements and ships. Earthquakes, volcanic activity, and natural erosion further complicated the preservation of artifacts. This could explain why evidence has been so elusive, and why the story of early human travel remains shrouded in darkness. Despite these challenges, advances in technology, such as underwater sonar scanning, ground-penetrating radar, and sophisticated dating methods have started to offer new hope. Scientists can now explore previously inaccessible sites and analyze findings with unprecedented accuracy. This technology has paved the way for discoveries that might finally illuminate the silence of the past. This brings us to a turning point, a moment when the unknown is on the verge of becoming known. For 20,000 years, humanity's story has been silent, but the stage is set for a discovery that could shatter that silence forever. A discovery that could reveal an ancient ship, hidden in darkness, waiting to tell its tale. After centuries of speculation and searching, the moment that could rewrite human history finally arrived. The discovery of an ancient ship, lost to time for 20,000 years, hidden deep beneath layers of earth and darkness. This discovery didn't happen by chance. It was the result of years of tireless research, cutting-edge technology, and a spark of luck that brought the world's attention to a forgotten corner of the earth. The story begins with a team of archaeologists and marine explorers using advanced scanning technologies such as sonar imaging, ground-penetrating radar, and underwater drones to explore an underwater region long thought to be barren. This area, once a coastal plain during the last ice age, was gradually submerged due to rising sea levels after the glaciers melted. Though the surface seemed ordinary, these new tools revealed something extraordinary, hidden beneath the murky depths. At first, the images were ambiguous, shapes that could be natural formations or debris scattered by time. But as the team delved deeper, Refining their scans and deploying remotely operated vehicles equipped with high-definition cameras, a silhouette began to emerge. The unmistakable outline of a ship, remarkably well preserved despite the passage of millennia. Excitement rippled through the scientific community as the discovery was confirmed. The ship was unlike any known vessel from later historical periods. Its design was primitive yet sophisticated, hinting at a maritime culture far more advanced than previously believed for that era. The wood, though aged and fragile, was intact, enough to analyze the construction techniques, which suggested a deep understanding of buoyancy and stability. As divers explored the site, they uncovered a trove of artifacts within and around the shipwreck. Tools fashioned from bone and stone, pottery fragments, and mysterious symbols carved into the hull pointed to a culture that combined practical craftsmanship with artistic expression. Among these items were also remnants of cargo, possibly trade, goods which hinted that the ship had once been part of a larger network of ancient sea routes. The location of the discovery was equally significant. Situated near what had once been a vibrant hub of human activity, it suggested that early humans had already developed the skills and knowledge needed to embark on long voyages, perhaps for exploration, trade, or migration. This challenged the long-held assumption that humans remained isolated in small groups, confined by the limitations of their technology. News of the find spread rapidly, capturing imaginations worldwide. Museums, universities, and governments mobilized to protect and study the site. International teams of experts in archaeology, anthropology, marine biology, and history converged to piece together the puzzle. This collaborative effort aimed to unlock the secrets locked inside the ship and understand its role in human history. The discovery also sparked public fascination and debate. Could this ship be proof of a lost civilization? One whose achievements had been erased by time and nature? Was it the key to understanding early human migration across oceans, changing the story of how cultures connected and evolved? The questions were many, and the answers promised to be transformative. This ancient shipwreck, silent for 20,000 years, had finally emerged from the darkness, an unexpected messenger from the distant past. It stood as a testament to human ingenuity, perseverance, and the relentless quest for discovery. What it revealed would not only fill gaps in history books, but inspire new generations to look beyond the known and explore the mysteries still hidden beneath the waves. As the ancient shipwreck lay undisturbed for millennia beneath layers of sediment and darkness, it preserved secrets locked tightly in time, secrets that promised to rewrite the understanding of early human civilization and their capabilities. Uncovering these secrets was not a simple task. The ship and its contents were fragile, delicate remnants from a distant past, and every artifact needed careful handling and thorough investigation to unlock its mysteries. First and foremost, the ship's very construction became a source of fascination. Unlike vessels known from later historical periods, this ship exhibited unique design elements that challenged conventional assumptions about early seafaring technology. The timbers used to build the hull were expertly joined using techniques previously unknown for that era, suggesting a high level of craftsmanship. The wood itself came from trees native to regions far from where the ship was found, hinting at complex trade or migration routes. Researchers found strange symbols and carvings etched into the ship's wooden beams, patterns that didn't match any known early human language or symbolic system. These markings intrigued linguists and historians, sparking numerous hypotheses. Were they a form of proto-writing, navigation codes, or spiritual inscriptions meant to protect the ship and its crew? Decoding these symbols became a priority, as they held the key to understanding the people who built and sailed this vessel. Inside the ship, the cargo revealed more secrets. Archaeologists discovered tools made from bone, flint, and shells, materials indicating a resourcefulness and adaptation to diverse environments. Pottery fragments found in storage compartments displayed artistic designs that suggested cultural expression and possibly communication with other communities. There were also remnants of dried food, seeds, and grains, providing clues about the diet and agriculture of the ship's occupants. Perhaps most astonishing were the remnants of early navigational instruments, simple yet effective devices that hinted at a knowledge of astronomy and ocean currents. This discovery overturned previous beliefs that such technologies appeared only thousands of years later. The presence of these tools indicated that these ancient mariners might have had the ability to chart their course across vast bodies of water, relying on stars and natural phenomena. Biological analysis of pollen and other organic material embedded in the ship's wood and cargo suggested that the vessel had traveled through varied ecosystems, including temperate forests and coastal wetlands. This reinforced the idea that the ship was part of a larger network of trade or migration, connecting distant human groups much earlier than anyone had imagined. All these findings opened up new questions. Who were these ancient people? How did they acquire such advanced skills? Did they share knowledge across regions, forming the roots of early global exchange? Each artifact and symbol acted like a puzzle piece, offering glimpses of a forgotten world that had been silent for thousands of years. Scientific teams worked tirelessly to preserve the ship and its contents, using cutting-edge conservation methods. 3D scanning and digital modeling allowed researchers to study the ship's architecture in detail without risking damage. Meanwhile, labs worldwide conducted chemical analyses to date the artifacts precisely and understand the environmental conditions at the time of the ship's journey. Beyond the physical clues, the ship symbolized the human drive to explore, innovate, and connect. It revealed that even in the distant past, people had ventured beyond the familiar shores, driven by curiosity, necessity, or the desire to find new horizons. The ship was a time capsule, capturing a moment when humanity took bold steps into the unknown. The secrets locked in this ancient ship challenged every textbook and theory about early human history. They forced historians to reconsider the timelines of technological progress and the complexity of prehistoric cultures. What had been dismissed as impossible was now tangible proof that humanity's story was far richer, deeper, and more interconnected than ever believed. With the ancient ship and its artifacts painstakingly recovered and preserved, a new phase of discovery began. A phase centered on breaking the long-standing silence that had blanketed this lost chapter of human history for 20,000 years. The physical remains alone could tell only part of the story. To truly understand the significance of the ship, researchers had to decode its symbols, analyze its cargo, and piece together its origins. This process required collaboration across multiple disciplines and the use of the latest scientific tools, all aimed at unlocking the voice of the past. The first breakthrough came from the inscriptions and carvings on the ship's hull and artifacts. Linguists, cryptographers, and historians worked tirelessly to interpret the strange symbols that had baffled experts since the ship's discovery. Using advanced pattern recognition software and comparative studies with other ancient symbolic systems, they began to unravel a proto-language, a form of communication that bridged pictograms and early written language. This early code hinted at navigation instructions, spiritual beliefs, and even names of places or people, shedding light on the cultural and practical lives of those who sailed the ship. Meanwhile, archaeologists and chemists studied the cargo and ship materials. Radiocarbon dating and isotopic analysis provided precise timelines for the ship's construction and voyage, confirming its astonishing age. Meanwhile, botanical and zoological remains told stories of trade and environment. Seeds from distant lands, shells from exotic seas, and animal bones not native to the ship's discovery site suggested a far-reaching network of exchange and exploration. This collective research began to challenge long-held beliefs. The idea that early humans were limited to small, isolated groups began to fall apart. Instead, evidence pointed to a society capable of organized maritime travel, cultural exchange, and even early forms of globalization long before previously documented. One of the most astonishing revelations was the discovery of navigational knowledge encoded in the ship's symbols and artifacts. Researchers found references to celestial bodies used for guidance, stars, the sun, and the moon, suggesting that these ancient sailors had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. This knowledge would have been essential for crossing open waters, navigating treacherous coastlines, and planning long journeys, revealing that early humans possessed intellectual and practical skills far ahead of their time. The ship's story also began to illuminate broader social and cultural structures. The diversity of artifacts implied a society with specialized roles: craftsmen, navigators, traders, and possibly religious figures. The presence of symbolic art suggested shared beliefs and rituals, hinting at a complex cultural identity that linked individuals and communities together. Public fascination grew as the story unfolded. Exhibits showcasing the ship's artifacts drew crowds worldwide, sparking renewed interest in ancient history and human origins. Documentaries and academic papers proliferated, presenting the ship as a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. Its story inspired new generations to think beyond traditional narratives and embrace the mystery and complexity of the human journey. However, breaking the silence was not without controversy. Some scholars questioned the dating methods or interpretations of the symbols, leading to debates within the scientific community. Others worried about the implications for established historical timelines and national identities tied to certain ancestral narratives. Despite these challenges, the overwhelming evidence made it clear that this discovery was a turning point in our understanding of prehistoric humanity. Ultimately, breaking the silence meant more than just interpreting artifacts. It meant giving voice to a forgotten chapter of human history. It transformed the ancient ship from a silent relic into a storyteller, bridging the gap between past and present. Through relentless scientific inquiry and human curiosity, the long quiet past began to speak, reshaping how we view ourselves and our ancestors. The story of the ancient ship would remain incomplete without understanding its journey, where it had come from, what course it took, and the fate that befell it and its crew. Reconstructing this voyage was a challenging but vital task, as it offered insights into the lives of the people who built and sailed the ship, and the circumstances that led to its long silence beneath the earth or sea. Using the clues preserved in the ship's materials, cargo, and surroundings, researchers began piecing together the vessel's path. The types of wood used in the hull indicated that the ship's builders had access to forests hundreds of miles away from the discovery site. This suggested not only extensive travel, but also trade or migration routes that connected distant human groups in ways previously unimagined. The botanical and zoological remains aboard the ship told stories of varied environments, showing that the ship had sailed through different climates, from temperate forests to coastal wetlands, perhaps even venturing into open ocean. Seeds and pollen found inside suggested the ship had made stops in fertile areas where people harvested or traded agricultural products. The navigational symbols and tools discovered on board hinted at a carefully planned route. Researchers proposed that the ship was not simply drifting but undertaking a purposeful expedition. The use of celestial navigation, the stars, sun, and moon, implied voyages across open waters, perhaps in search of new lands, resources, or trading partners. But the journey was fraught with danger. Natural disasters such as storms, rising sea levels, or seismic activity may have played a role in the ship's ultimate fate. Geological studies of the site revealed evidence of underwater landslides and shifting sediments, which could have buried the ship and trapped it in the depths for thousands of years. These events likely caused the crew to abandon their journey abruptly or led to the ship's wreck. Human factors could also have contributed. The ship might have been caught in a conflict, either with rival groups or due to internal strife among the crew. Artifacts showing signs of hurried abandonment or damage hinted at sudden disruption. Alternatively, disease or famine might have forced the crew to seek refuge on land, leaving their vessel behind. Despite the tragic end, the journey itself was a testament to human resilience and ambition. The ship's existence proved that ancient humans were not passive inhabitants of their environments, but explorers and innovators who sought to connect, discover, and expand their horizons. Reconstructing the voyage also illuminated broader patterns of prehistoric human movement. It suggested early networks of interaction that predated known civilizations by millennia. These interactions may have facilitated the exchange of technology, ideas, and culture, laying the groundwork for the complex societies that followed. The journey of this ancient ship challenged previous assumptions about the limitations of early humans. It painted a picture of a society capable of planning and executing long-distance maritime travel, adapting to diverse environments, and overcoming natural challenges. This revealed a level of sophistication and interconnectedness that historians had not attributed to humans of that time. Moreover, the ship's voyage carried symbolic significance. It embodied the timeless human desire to explore the unknown, to venture beyond familiar shores, and to push the boundaries of what is possible. The crew, though lost to history, became representatives of this enduring spirit. Today, the ship's journey continues to inspire. Through scientific research, storytelling, and public fascination, it reminds us that even in the distant past, humanity's story was one of courage, ingenuity, and the relentless pursuit of discovery. The silent ship, having finally emerged from darkness, now tells the tale of a voyage that shaped the course of human history in ways we are only beginning to understand. The discovery of the ancient ship, silent for 20,000 years, did more than just fill a missing gap in the archaeological record. It awakened the past in a profound way, transforming how humanity understands its own history and origins. This awakening was not merely about unearthing a relic. It was about reconnecting with a chapter of human endeavor long thought lost, reigniting curiosity, and reshaping the story of our ancestors. The ship's emergence from darkness acted as a catalyst, inspiring scientists, historians, and the general public alike to reconsider established narratives. For decades, textbooks and theories had portrayed early humans as primitive and isolated, confined by the limits of their environment and technology. But this discovery shattered those assumptions, revealing a level of sophistication and connectivity that challenged the very foundations of prehistoric study. With renewed vigor, archaeologists began to explore related sites, applying new methods and technologies spurred by the ship's discovery. Ground-penetrating radar, satellite imagery, and underwater exploration expanded the search for other lost artifacts and settlements from the same era. The ship's revelation served as a beacon, guiding researchers to look beyond traditional boundaries and question long-held beliefs. Culturally, the ship ignited a worldwide fascination with humanity's distant past. Museums organized exhibitions, showcasing the vessel and its artifacts, drawing crowds eager to glimpse the tangible proof of ancient innovation. Documentaries and books spread the story far beyond academic circles, sparking discussions about human resilience, creativity, and the interconnectedness of early civilizations. Moreover, the ship's discovery had a profound impact on how societies viewed their own heritage. It fostered a sense of shared history, highlighting the common threads that link all people across time and geography. The fact that such advanced knowledge and exploration existed so long ago reminded humanity that innovation and the desire to explore are deeply rooted traits. The awakening also influenced future scientific and cultural endeavors. It encouraged interdisciplinary collaboration between archaeologists, linguists, geneticists, and climate scientists, leading to more holistic studies of human history. The knowledge gained helped refine models of migration, adaptation, and cultural development, offering a more nuanced understanding of how early humans survived and thrived. On a broader scale, the discovery raised philosophical questions about human identity and progress. It challenged the linear view of history, suggesting instead a complex web of achievements, setbacks, and rediscoveries. The ship symbolized the cyclical nature of human knowledge, how civilizations rise, fall, and sometimes vanish, only to be rediscovered by later generations. Yet the awakening was not without its challenges. The newfound evidence prompted debates within academic and political spheres about heritage, ownership, and the rewriting of history. Different groups sought to claim the ship and its legacy as part of their own cultural narrative, leading to discussions about preservation, ethics, and international cooperation. Despite these complexities, the ship's legacy is ultimately one of hope and inspiration. It reminds humanity that the past is never truly silent. Even after millennia of darkness, the stories of our ancestors can reemerge, offering lessons and insights that resonate across time. In the end, awakening the past is about more than just history. It's about embracing the enduring human spirit. The ancient ship, once lost and forgotten, now stands as a symbol of discovery, resilience, and the timeless quest to understand where we come from. Its silent voyage has ended, but its story continues to inspire generations to seek out the unknown and awaken the secrets still hidden in the depths of time.